It's funny the things the news will report. A 17-year-old John Doe? Very interesting. But they won't tell you how the judge has already put it out there in the atmosphere that if she finds evidence of misconduct, she's gonna throw this trial out of here. Oh, but they won't talk about that.
The receipts are checking out, but if all the receipts are checking out that I'm going to put out, R. Kelly may be innocent. Yeah. So much so, I took down the video that I did on the so-called enablers because I got that information from Angelo, Tim Savage, Cash Jones. Who else? Who else gave me that information? It was so many people. Lisa Van Allen. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's so bad. Shit, what did you think of the stuff that, I mean... The Asbel, the Angelo Clary shit checked out already. I already did it, that discredited them motherfuckers. It's done. So he's giving me stuff one by one on everybody. But yeah.
Well, he's been working on his investigation for some time and tells us that he is representing 6 clients. He says 2 of them are victims, 2 parents, and 2 whistleblowers, and that one of the victims was named in today's indictment. Michael Avenatti says that he was contacted back in April by a concerned parent and started his investigation, then passed over evidence to Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx several weeks ago. That evidence, he says, includes a VHS tape depicting Kelly engaged in sexual acts with a 14-year-old girl, saying the tape is of far superior quality and entirely different from the video shown in Kelly's 2008 trial. Avenatti says he is aware of 2 other tapes out there, says he has already acquired one of them, which he will be passing along to Kim Foxx. Avenatti says he also has proof Kelly paid witnesses to rig the outcome of the 2008 trial, where Kelly was acquitted of all charges. He also called out people in R. Kelly's inner circle. He says at least 10 of them who he calls enablers. He says he plans to go after them as well.
This predator, Mr. Kelly, preyed on them repeatedly. I want to send a message to the enablers of Mr. Kelly, to the agents and the managers and the attorneys and the others who stood idly by and looked the other way and turned a blind eye while teenage girls were sexually assaulted for over 2 decades. I will not rest until each of you is brought to justice.
Breaking right now, new allegations just in against R&B singer R. Kelly. Prosecutors in New York coming forward with charges we haven't heard of until right now. Accusations of abuse involving at least 10 more girls in Chicago dating back to 1991, as well as videos of Kelly physically and verbally abusing women. Court filing just released also claims the singer's crisis manager bribed a Cook County clerk after the documentary Surviving R. Kelly. Prosecutors hope to enter all of this as evidence in his upcoming racketeering trial in New York next month.
I did not come to play with you hoes. I came to slay, bitch.
Let me just remind you, people that are not supporting R. Kelly are not following this case. So don't be surprised by the headlines and the tabloids when we are reading the paperwork.
I don't believe, it's no sex cult. Like, not in the essence of what people thinking. I mean, no more did Hugh Hefner have a sex cult? I mean, I don't know if that's what you call it. I don't. And when I think of cult and all of that, that's not what I saw.
You don't want to be in this. I ain't never seen dudes want to be in something with another grown-ass man that got some foul-ass charges of child molestation and rape and all this shit. You want to sit there on the line and fight for it. Make up all these dumbass scenarios. It's a setup. How the fuck would you know a setup? You don't even have a damn home, stable home to do computer work on. Can I give him some? Please give him some. Can I give him some a little bit? Can I give him one thing? Go ahead. No, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it in a live. They're gonna do you live anyway, because you're live the only ones that's telling the truth. I know. Channel and T and Big Lil and Lil Sis. Lil Sis, I know everybody was mad with TK, but she good. She good. She good. She in a class by herself. And when I go on her platform, we gonna go on there with the whole documentary about these clowns, about how they fought so hard, destroyed their own house, put in all this time and hours trying to protect the pervert, but yet they ain't do shit for their kid. Tell that nigga get on here and show what they sent their kids for their birthday.
And when I drop the videos, the pictures, the paperwork, for him to get on live to say that Azrael is not right in R. Kelly, really? Really? Now, I gave him R. Kelly's jail records. Ask him how he got R. Kelly's jail records. Ask him how I got the emails between Azrael and R. Kelly. So you mean to tell me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about?
I just think it's quite ironic, all these janky-ass Johnsons floating around this R. Kelly situation. From Selena Johnson, who went from being around R. Kelly, so knows pretty much what goes around, and pretty much being a witness to the fact that Andrea Kelly was a choreographer and was touring with R. Kelly despite these allegations that there were well-being checks and she was being held hostage and all this bull crap. There's a video where she clearly says that Andrea Kelly would go from dancing on stage to going to get her kids backstage. So you got Selena Johnson to Jaguar Johnson, who thinks she has scored big by teaming up with Azrael and pushing this whole narrative of how Tasha K is inciting people to harass and intimidate Azrael, and even implicating Tasha K as inciting Michael Williams to blow up Azrael's car. But not only that, you have Geronda Johnson Pace, then you got Jonjolyn Johnson Savage. Now you got this janky-ass Daryl Johnson. I think that's quite interesting.
Live to you. Facebook, live to you. Radio, live to you. Radio, fuck you.
It would appear that this was all elaborately staged, and we already have evidence of this from Cass Jones.
You got to get rid of Mason, and you have to get rid of this public, because they are working with Avenatti. This was a whole, like, this Gail King thing. They knew about this from, like, weeks ago. Like, they've been planning this. I know you don't probably want to listen to me, but please, you cannot let him do this interview on Monday. But like, all this stuff is a plan to just, like, put you apart and make shit worse.
Cannot let who do an interview?
This Daryl Johnson guy. The guy who's supposed to be, like, the publicist or whatever.
Rip me apart how?
Get you away?
Rip me apart how?
Like, it's just all staged. Like, I don't know.
No. Just be specific. Be specific. Rip me apart how?
I know the how.
Okay, I want you to find out. I want you to find out how and let me know.
I want to say I wasn't even talking to the guy for a full 60 seconds before Angelo starts texting me, threatening me. Okay, so you want to go on a nigga channel that only got 1,000 subscribers or whatever, and you want to talk shit? First of all, I was not talking shit. I mean, the problem is, anytime I go to any platform, at this point, they're going to ask me about Angelo Clary because of what's already been said. Because somebody asked me about you, and I wasn't even going to dog Angelo. That was not my intention. But when he started threatening me, talking about, oh, he's going to go on Tasha K, oh, he's going to do, like, for what? You always threatening somebody, blackmailing somebody. He was already mad at me because he claims that somebody told him, or he got his hands on something that basically he was saying that when he was sending people in to infiltrate Rob's camp, that I told him the things that he was telling me. So he was already mad at me from like days before that.
Knows your number by heart. He called for me. That's the only reason why I'm here. Nicole linked up with me. That's why I'm here. Other than that, for the past 10 years, I've been to myself. I've been running my business. I've been doing the shit that I have to do. I have not been involved with any of this shit. Fucked up. Did you ever sign anything? I'm sure you did. I have a bank account. Really? The SunTrust. SunTrust is his bank. He loves SunTrust. I have a whole account in his name. And I hold his money. I can't even touch his like at least $4 million. I can't even touch it. And you're telling me everything's okay. Years later, everything's okay. I need you to say this. You had Nicole reach out to me. That's crazy.
So the point in this video is that with all that I have single-handedly uncovered on this page, and feel free to take a trip down memory lane, because even when it comes to this new allegation of this boy being included, I set you up for this 4 or 5 months ago. I set you up for this janky-ass PR, also exposed by Tasha K. So when we see all these mainstream media tabloid headlines, let's keep this in mind. We got our eyes on Robert Sylvester Kelly, and the truth of the matter is, regardless of what way you want to view this case, we see corruption across the board. Evidence being passed all through social media across the board. All these janky-ass people trying to keep your attention off of the main people who drove the boat, as Meg Thee Stallion would say. At the end of the day, they came out here and talked a good game, talked about this man is a predator, all these people around him are enablers, and if you look at the paperwork, you will see a completely different story being played out. And it don't matter how many people that they add to this indictment, it doesn't change the fact that if you go by bit, you will see how these people are not credible individually. So they felt bunching them all together would wean your opinion. Pay attention.
We did our job. We brought the information to the public. Surviving R. Kelly went off, we kept that shit going. We got bus drivers, we got police officers, we got assistants, we got friends, we got people alive, we got the storage, we got motherfucking video.
All about that. I'm out here getting to the money like a dope boy. Got connections out of town like a dope boy. Lambo baking soda white like a dope boy. And I'm all about that life like a dope boy. I got all these bitches spinning like a dope boy. Hear the cell is steady ringing like a